Hey everybody, Zach here at etrailer.com. Today we're taking a look at the CIPA Universal Towing Mirrors. These are going to be a really nice, affordable way to give you a little bit better visibility when you're going down the road, whether you're hauling a boat like we have here today or a camper like we have back here. Anytime you have something at the back of your vehicle, it's a little bit more difficult to see around it. So especially when we're trying to change lanes or we're backing up, we want that wider field of view just for safer conditions, because the factory mirrors that we have, they do a good job, but they're designed for your vehicle. So adding that extra width out there is going to be a much safer way of going about it. So here I am at the back of the trailer. You can see me just fine in the factory mirror, which is nice. But where I think these mirrors shine is when we're changing lanes. So you can see this yellow line here. This is going to simulate our lane. So as I go further out into that other lane, you lose me in the factory mirror, but you pick me up in that towing mirror. So if a car is hanging out in your blind spot, which they do it all the time, they're not paying attention to you, but you need to be able to change lanes safely. So this allows you to see without having to turn around and taking your eyes off the road for that long. So I think if you're hauling a trailer at any size, these mirrors are going to help you have a much safer driving experience. The wider field of view is really nice, but what I like about these is we've got really good adjustability. So we can kind of spin it up like that if we need to see above us. Maybe we're backing into a low clearance garage or an overhang. But for me, I think this is the most useful position. You can see it's able to make some adjustments there on that ball and socket, but this is where you kind of see its drawback. This is a universal mirror, and as I make those adjustments, it's a little tight right now because it's new, but it's moving this whole mirror system around. So universal is nice because maybe you have another vehicle in the family you tow with, and you can put it on different vehicles. But for me, I think custom fit is the way to go. The custom fit options for the Tahoe are really nice. They have a really good look to them, but the universal mirror is still going to do a really good job. You saw that movement there. I still feel confident in this staying on the mirror while we're going down the road, but it's one of the drawbacks. Doesn't fit exactly the way you would want maybe out of like a custom, and it vibrates. So those vibrations going down the road, after a while, they might get to you. So I think the custom fit might be something that you might want to look for if you think those constant vibrations will bother you. Overall though, the construction's really nice. I think that the plastic that they use here, you think of plastic and you kind of think it's going to not be that great, but they've done a really good job. It's sturdy. This one gets used around the shop all the time. And even, it's new. It doesn't get used that much, but we put it on different vehicles to test them out quite a bit, and it still holds up well. The rubber straps are nice because they allow us to really get a nice tight fit on them, but they also do a good job of kind of grabbing onto the back of the mirror and not sliding around a bunch. The material that it's made of will probably scuff a finish on a vehicle like this. If you have a trim package that has more of the kind of plastic feel to it, it's not as glossy. They'll probably do a better job of holding on to that. When these do scuff, I find that you can just kind of wipe it out with your thumb. But as long as things are clean, you're not going to scratch anything back there. I like this one in particular when it comes to universal mirrors because it doesn't have any metal parts that are showing. When you're installing those type, you run the risk of scratching your vehicle a lot more than you would with this one. I like that it's lightweight and it's easy to use. So another thing that's nice is it's not really bulky. So we can fold our mirror in. It doesn't make contact with our vehicle. And you can see there how it vibrated a little bit. That was kind of a harsh movement. But if we take a closer look at our factory mirror here, I still have the ability to make adjustments on my mirror. So I don't have any contact here today, which is really nice that I can get full adjustment on my factory mirror as well. Now when it comes to these, it's sold in a quantity of one, but if you would like one for the passenger side as well, you can pick up the pair, which is really nice. So they're both going to install the same way, really easy to use. So let's just show you how we got these put in place. The first thing we need to do before we get these installed is we need to kind of get a dry test as to where they're going to be and kind of get them put together like this. Just squeeze it together a little bit. And these little grooves right here are going to go in between the mirror housing and the actual mirror. So we'll get those to line up on there. And every Tahoe is going to be a little bit different depending on the trim package that you have. So you may have just slightly different mirrors, but they're all essentially going to install the same way. So once we get that in place, just bring these straps up, get them hooked around right there. And that's what I like about these rubber straps, is you can kind of make some adjustments once it's on there. It's maybe going to scuff the finish of the mirror, but it's not going to scratch them unless you've got some dirt or something back there. So probably not a bad idea to wipe things off also. But you can see there, it's going to slide off just a little bit, so we need to make a couple tiny adjustments to it. Maybe I'm pulling a little bit too much there, so I'll loosen this one up just a little bit. But this is kind of one of the things you're going to have when it comes to these universal towing mirrors. With the idea of them working for lots of different mirrors, they maybe don't fit yours as well as others. So that's why I kind of like those custom fit towing mirrors. But you can see it's still going to give us a pretty good fit on there. It still moves around a little bit. We'll get everything tightened down, and we're going to be able to safely tow and have a little bit better visibility compared to just that traditional standard mirror. But if you pick up the pair, you would just install the passenger side the same way. You can see it's only going to take a couple of minutes. Good idea to kind of make sure before you get going down the road that everything's still in good working conditions. You don't have any tears in those rubber strips. But overall, I think that when it comes to just giving you a better view when you're towing, these are going to do a really good job of that. But that's going to do it for our look at the CIPA Universal Towing Mirrors on our 2020 Chevrolet Tahoe.